So you hope, and I'll hurry. You pray, and I'll plan. We'll do what's necessary, 'cause even a miracle needs a hand.
I have to wrap up. It's so cold in Christmas.
It's actually not very cold. It's basically in the mid-40s.
Brr. We had to watch a stupid thing. This is Malignant.
I just realized I don't have glasses on. Oh well. I don't know, because what you don't know, audience, is that we have a little thing that we can see ourselves while we're recording, and I just realized I don't have my glasses on, but oh well. I look less intelligent in this one. It's the Christmasing, day 6. What did we watch?
Night Before Christmas.
'Twas the Night Before Christmas. The 1974, not the Night Before Christmas, the 1968. Which I get these two confused a lot. But this one is a Rasbanken production. It stars a mouse framing device. What?
You called it a Rasbanken.
Bass Rankin. No, because I was saying Bass Rankin, but apparently it is Rankin Bass is the name of the company.
It's got
a Rankin Bass Productions.
It's someone who loves ranking different types of bass. I don't know.
So it's animated, so everyone looks like they're right out the Shire, because this is when they got into animation style that they became really famous for, with like The Hobbit and Return of the King.
This movie.
She was really upset during this.
Okay, first of all, I noticed.
There's nothing to do with writing the actual poem, by the way.
First of all, I noticed when the main narrator person was Joel Grey, and I was trying to remember what I knew Joel Grey from, so I was like, Joel Grey, he was in that musical about Nazis, and you were like, oh, that's producers. No, the serious one, Cabaret, and was in Buffy.
I'm not a musical gay. That's not my thing. That's not on my character sheet. So.
But then, okay, 'twas the night before Christmas, and all through the house, not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. They fucked it up. They got to that point in the poem, and they fucked it up.
The point is like the mouse is stirring. And
yeah.
Father Mouse narrates the whole tale.
That's like adapting something else, and like, line 3, deciding, no, we're going to do the complete inverse of that. Fuck yeah.
Well, the point is that Father Mouse is stirring, and then the whole entire story is told in retrospect and flashback of why he is stirring. Although
they fucked it up.
The beginning of Twas the Night Before Christmas always kind of weirded me out, because when I was really little, I had to have several eye operations at Children's Hospital in Philadelphia, and I remember like going to bed the night, because you have to get, like, everyone who's had surgery knows you have to get up really early in the morning. There's a lot of pre-surgical things that have to happen. You have to get up at like 4 or 5 in the morning if you have like an 8 or 9 o'clock surgery time. So I remember I used to have this wee plushie E.T. that I had gotten from somewhere. So this would have been like 1983 or 4. And my dad saying 'twas the night before surgery, and all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. And I was like, okay. And like now I associate the poem with like traumatic memories of operations. So
I'm trying to think of another famous thing like that, where I can recite the first few lines and just try to come up with some sort of weird comparison about how ridiculous it is.
Listen, my children, and you shall hear of the midnight ride of Paul Revere. 'Twas the 18th of April in 75. Not a man is yet alive who remembers that famous day and year.
Okay, so imagine they were adapting whatever the fuck that was.
It's the midnight ride of Paul Revere.
And Paul Revere didn't do a ride, and he walked around a bit.
That actually would be pretty interesting. It'd be like, wait, record scratch freeze frame, that's me, Paul Revere. You're probably wondering how I got into this situation.
Ironically, I think Paul Revere did a lot less midnight riding than a lot of other people.
Yeah, that's true. He kind of like made like one part, but because he was a wealthy silversmith, everyone was like, Paul Revere!
Plus his name like rhymed with things. But, plus he has to be revered.
I don't think that's...
But,
So anyway, so what was the basic narrative plot?
It was fucking Malignant, that's what it was. Okay. This little town, everyone in this little town, Santa Claus decides that
Junctionville, USA.
And it's apparently, they sent letters off to Santa Claus.
The entire town did.
And it's not a tall winter, so I think it looks midsummer.
Well, no, the thing is that, like, this all started 2 months ago, implying that October 25th, they got these letters back refused, that was, like, refused by addressee from Santa Claus. Meaning they must have sent them out mid to early October. So I don't want to hear anybody fucking whinging about, oh, these days it goes right into, it's not even been Halloween yet, and then it's Christmas, oh.
Yeah. So they get the letters back from Santa Claus.
Yeah.
And turns out that the mouse that was Stirring's eldest son, who looks like an unholy cross between at least 2 of the 3 chipmunks.
Really, seriously, it sounds like it. He's like the original, like, I felt bad, like the original, like, autism spectrum mouse.
And he wrote a letter. Did they specify who he wrote the letter to?
He wrote the letter to the town paper, and it was posted in the town paper as an editorial letter. Him and his friends, although his friends are never shown, saying that Santa Claus is a fraud and the reindeer are fakes. And apparently apparently Santa Claus has a thinner skin than Donald Trump, and he is so offended that he's just skipping the town of Junctionville.
Yeah, because this guy wrote a letter which is accurate. It's real world accurate.
Real world accurate, but see, in the beginning, like the mouse, the father mouse, he basically gets on the phone, and it's one of the old style crank phones, and he calls the mouse operator at the North Pole and says, "What's the crack?" And so in this continuity,
in the
Santa Claus exists, and you can speak to his representatives.
Well, so if you want to be all Thermian about it, yes. Then in the universe, then this guy is basically the equivalent of Alex Jones.
But yes, I agree with you that the sentiment is not wholesome.
But for the implication is for the kids watching this is that it is terrible, wrong, it is villainous to say that Santa Claus doesn't exist. Which is fucking malignant.
Like, there's a whole entire song about not relying on science and logic.
Yeah.
Like, give your heart a chance.
Yeah. You do too much thinking with your brain. And it's like, Jesus fucking Christ. Jesus
and that
fucking
mouse
Christ.
was the amazing atheist. No, I'm just kidding.
No,
he got really into ethics and gaming journalism after that.
No, I like to imagine that mouse was P.Z. Myers.
Peasy mouse.
Grew a beard,
Peasy
became obsessed with octopuses, you know.
But the interesting thing is the aesthetic of the art is very much like 1910s Midwestern America. So, it's a little bit weird that they have like the crank phones that are very like 1930s because they won't have the crank phones for a good wee bit, you know. And I don't know, we're just picking holes and everything, but it's so American.
And then, in order to make Santa Claus happy again, what they're gonna do is create this clock
Joshua
maker
Trundle, the clockmaker,
has decided that he's made a little model of what he wants to do, which is a clock which sings Christmas carols at midnight, and
of course they know that at midnight Santa Claus will be flying over their specific town. I don't know what kind of latitude and longitude triangulations were necessary to calculate this information.
And apparently Joshua Trundle invented recording technology, because I don't know
no,
when
they have recording technology in the early 1900s.
We're not entirely sure when it's set, though. We're not sure.
From how they're dressed, and from the aesthetic of the town, and the tech level of the town, it looks like it's at least 1910.
Okay,
that's
fine.
It's at least nearly the Great War.
Okay, that's fine. But the audio quality is still too good.
Yeah.
He recorded this thing and he's built it into a clock, and then they're all like, this is fascinating, let's do it in live fashion.
The mayor and the town council actually have a board meeting about how Santa Claus is refusing everyone's letters. If you thought that your town's government had shit to do, have they had a meeting about Santa Claus yet?
They built into the clock tower a giant version of this thing, which then...
they test in October, mind.
Yeah, they test in October and it blows up and everyone assumes that the clockmaker is shit.
So then he gets no business. His family is starving. The mouse family is starving because his family is starving. But apparently the father mouse assists him as a wee assistant and they talk, so...
And then it turns out that the smart mouse had been investigating the clock to see how it worked.
And broke something somehow.
Somehow, yes, which made it explode.
No, fair play, because who doesn't know that little kid who decided, I wonder how the remote control works, I better take it apart. Nash has said on his show that he was the kid who was like, I wonder how that works, I'm gonna take it apart. Oh,
Keep
dear.
him away from Grady.
He's not gonna take a cat apart. Nash, please don't take your cat apart. I know that you wouldn't, but I feel like I have a responsibility to say so.
And, okay.
If you're Grady, write the show.
Finally, in order to make a happy ending, the little baby intelligent mouse gets into the clock and does it as above so belows it by fixing it illegally. Because the clockmaker's not allowed to go and fix it, even though he's the fucking clockmaker.
Yeah, the mayor was like, pissed off with you.
Like, nah, we'll just have a broken clock because we're secretly Hill Valley and Back to the Future.
But he's like, the dad's like, you don't know how clocks work. He's like, I don't know, but Copernicus does. And he pulls like a mouse-sized book by Copernicus off the shelf. And I was like, I didn't, like, if he'd said Aristotle or like...
Well, Aristotle didn't.
No, Archimedes, that's who I mean.
Or Heron of Alexandria.
Yeah, or like one of the Greek philosophers that wasn't like engineering, I'd be like, fair play. But I'm like, Copernicus? Copernicus wasn't
Copernicus
engineering.
might have done stuff like that, but he's not famous for it.
No. You should have used Archimedes, dude.
Well, there's very little Archimedes first-hand stuff left, I think.
That's true.
But,
Yeah, but it could have been about his processes.
So he and the kid goes out and fixes everything, and Santa Claus flies over at the right moment, and then there's...
And here's the song.
And so he's decided his anger is sated. He's like, these people have bent to my will, and therefore he decides to come and give presents only to the clockmaker.
It was Robot Santa from Future Maker. Yeah, so that's when the poem takes over, and they recite the poem.
Yeah, later on in the poem.
More rapid than eagles, the coursers they came. I never really understood a lot of the metaphors, like away the all flew down of a thistle. I was like, what? But then I'm thinking about blowing, the bits off dandelions, putting it go free. And I guess that's what that means.
Something like that.
Yeah.
But Santa Claus only, even though he forgives the town, only gives them to the fucking guy with the clock.
Maybe they have to, it's like a common, they have to disseminate them.
And then flies away, yelling, laughing and like Santa Claus like, Merry Christmas, motherfuckers, none of the rest of you get presents. I am the judge and jury, and I will execute you not getting presents this year.
Okay. Right then.
I could be a brilliant Santa Claus.
Now there was a wee song about, they were like, a miracle could still happen, and your man Joshua Trundle, the clockmaker's like, yeah, pray for a miracle, but make it happen yourself by working hard. I'm like, I can get behind that. God helps those who help themselves.
Yeah, though, hilariously, the Bible says the exact opposite.
Yeah, I got into it with one of my classmates who's like, that's not in the Bible, because she's a biblical literalist. This is the girl that doesn't believe in lab-created water, i.e. distilled water. And I was like, I don't care if, it's in the Bible or not. That's the kind of sentiment. It's like, when you go to someone for help, the first thing they ask is, what have you already done? Like, I'm not going to go to my supervisor for my dissertation and be like, do a table for me. I'll be like, exactly what I did. I was like, this is the table that I've come up with the data that we have. It's an academic format. Is this what is publishable? And he replied and said, actually, no, all you need is this information. That's what will be published. I'm like, oh, okay. So I redid the table. But if I'd come to him and be like, do this, he'd been like, no.
Yeah, but your teacher's not God.
No, but what I mean is that, a lot of times you can't expect people to just solve your problems. If you ask them, you need to, do things as well, take agency. And that's the thing is, he's like, you can pray all you want for a miracle and Santa to come, but you also have to, do things too. Well, you could pray to get the job that you want, but if you don't apply,
Well, according to the Bible, if you have two Christians together who are praying for something and they truly want it, it will happen regardless of what it is.
Citation
and the example they give is is moving mountains, I believe. I believe that's the exact one, used literally, not figuratively. You're meant to magic power. So apparently, two Christians have never got together and prayed about world peace, or there are very few true Christians.
That's
or the Bible's full of shit.
That reminds me of this book that I had when I was little. It's called Ming-Lo Moves a Mountain. And you can probably find this. You can Google it and probably get it on Amazon. But no,
sweet child.
He was in China. And he and his wife lived in a hut under a mountain. And it was kind of shitty because their crops wouldn't grow because they were in the shadow of the mountain. So sun never reached them. It was cold. It was raining. Rocks fell and knocked holes in their thatch. And so Ming-Lo went to a wise man. And the wise man said, well, then you must move the mountain. And he's like, well, you fucking nuts. I can't do that. And he's like, it's very easy. You and your wife must bundle everything up. That, take your house and, put it on your head and tie it to your back. And you must face the mountain and bow. And then you must take one foot and put it behind the other. And you must say, mountain, move. And you must keep doing this. And so they did what he said. And they walked backwards away from the mountain. And they saw, the mountain has moved. And then they set up their wee little shack again, and then they, things were better for them, and the wife got pregnant, and they had a wee boy, and there you go, Ming-Lo moved the mountain.
Ming-Lo's a fucking idiot.
It's a book for children!
The kids are fucking idiots.
But it's about, you can make anything happen. If you get off your ass and do something, technically the mountain did not move, it was Ming-Lo who moved, but from his perspective, because he wasn't too bright, it appears as though the mountain moved. Because you have to get off your ass and get stuff done.
Ming-Lo is giving me flashbacks to Dougal in Father Ted. Those are small, but those are far away.
We're going to go through this one more time. Small, far away. But anyway, you were just pissed off all through this one. She was like falling all over the couch. And I was like, stop doing that.
I bit her back.
No, you didn't. You just make kind of vaguely threatening noises when you do so.
This one was shit.
Oh, come on. The songs were catchy.
No, they weren't.
Even a miracle needs a hand.
Wasn't good.
I can't even sing. And that was good.
It was shit.
Oh? Why would you insult my singing voice?
I was insulting the thing. It's the thing we watched. It was shit.
It was not that shit.
It was shit.
Where would you rank it according to the other ones we've done so far?
When it comes to pure shitness and lack of amusement out of it, very low near the bottom.
So what's been the best we've watched so far?
Probably the claymation one.
Because you could think about Mark Twain at the same time.
No, Will Vinton's really good.
Okay. Well, we're halfway through. So we've got another 3 short ones. We do have 3 longer ones.
Longer ones!
And I think you've already, the one of them you've already seen. I wasn't talking about a penis.
Yeah, I've seen The Grinch before.
Yeah, we have the How the Grinch Stole Christmas, because of course you can't not. The classic. So,
Please
but now...
don't make me watch the Jim Carrey Grinch.
No, this is the animated one, the good one.
Okay.
I despise Jim Carrey. I mean, no offense. I mean, if he's a nice enough guy or anything, I just don't... I just don't like his comedic style. I didn't think The Mask was funny. I just, The Liar was kind of stupid. I feel kind of the same way about Adam Sandler. I mean, I've heard that...
Everyone hates Adam Sandler.
I've heard that his dramatic stuff is good. I've heard that Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind is good. I owned it on DVD for quite a while. Never actually ended up watching it and then traded it in, but...
The only Adam Sandler film I've ever seen that I liked...
No, that's Jim Carrey's.
I know. Oh. This one. The only one I liked that Adam Sandler was in was Airheads with Brendan Fraser and Steve Buscemi.
No, I didn't see it.
They're a rock band who break into a radio station.
What's Adam Sandler? I don't know. Okay, I did like one contribution. His 8 Crazy Nights song.
Airheads is better.
No, but the song about Hanukkah is really good because, there aren't a lot of Hanukkah songs, and if you're a Jewish kid, you're like, well, it's fucking Christmas songs. And...
Well, isn't that because Hanukkah isn't actually one of the important holidays, and it's
pretty important.
It gets, but in context with other holidays, it's not that big a deal. It's just because it's so close to Christmas, it's used as the Jewish holiday in the same.
It's a pretty big deal. I mean,
I thought it's not a high holiday.
It's not a high holy day because it's 7 days. All right. If you don't know, we're gonna give you Hanukkah in 5 seconds. Basically, way back in the day in Jerusalem, the Greeks had come and instead of conquering Jerusalem, because Alexander the Great was really interested in the Jewish ways, they kind of had this kind of peace thing going on where they were an occupied city, but they weren't really a conquered city. Well, Alexander the Great moves on, then he dies. The Greeks kind of become more antagonistic, and they think that the Jews should adopt their religions and their ways. The Jews don't want to do this, so the Maccabee Rebellion breaks out, and that's where you get the famous "To Your Tents, O Israel." So they kind of retreat to the mountains outside the city, engage in guerrilla warfare. Eventually, they expel the Greeks from Jerusalem, but the Greeks sack this. They basically ruin the city before they go. So when the Jews finally get back into Jerusalem, they go into the High Temple, and all of the lamp oil is spilled all over the ground. And it would take 8 days with the distillation process to make new anointed holy lamp oil. They found a jar containing enough oil for 1 night. So they light the menorah and everything. And so at least the fire will be burning for 1 night. But in a miraculous turn of events, that oil that was only enough to last for 1 night lasted for all 7 until more holy oil could be produced. And there you go. It was a miracle. Did you fall asleep? stop that. You're being culturally insensitive to all of our Jewish viewers. And so, like, if you didn't know, that's the story of Hanukkah. It's a celebration of this miracle and, you know, the overcoming of the Maccabees. And
Oh, I'm sorry that me insulting in several videos, verbally insulting myriad elements of Christianity and Christmas, but me closing my eyes during you describing Hanukkah is the culturally insensitive thing that I've done.
That's true. That's a good point. Yeah, so...
I wasn't
actually,
I closed my eyes.
If you're curious, I'm not including it in this because this is the Christmas thing, but I think either last year or the year before, for What Went Right, I did a holiday special about an animated special called Light's Miracle of Hanukkah that I used to watch when I was a kid. So check that out. Just go to my channel, or you're probably on my channel right now. It's awesome. Don't worry about it. But, so, I think...
But someone please correct me, but aren't there a bunch of other holidays, Jewish holidays, which are more important than Hanukkah?
Well, they're more important. I mean, how do you rank importance? I mean, it's not. I don't think Hanukkah is a high
Christmas is the important one for Christians, or Easter. Any other thing else is smaller.
There's Yom Kippur.
And there's Passover,
and the Seder, and Rosh Hashanah is the New Year.
Yeah, they got a bunch of...
They have a lot, but I think it's one of the important ones. I mean, I don't think you could say which one is the most important.
Well, we can't because we're not Jewish.
You could ask Ty the writer. They might know.
Yeah.
But so anyway, it's been the Christmasing day 6. What will be next time? It'll probably be at the end of the video, because that's what I've been doing. So there you go. You're gonna get like Christmas Stockholm syndrome by the time we're done. Ouch! Why my ear?
It's your own fault.
We love you, audience. We'll see you next time.